This is what he is really saying. And I can't even blame them that voted this time, because this selection was so clearly fixed. And it's just blatantly obvious. Now you want to, I'm not going to read through all this because there's a lot to it, but if you want to pause it and have a read yourself, it explains a lot. The insurance policy failed and I've declassified everything. I assume you'll want a self-facing Mecca. Shifting. As you are shifting, you will begin to realise that you are not the same person you used to be. The things you used to tolerate have become intolerable. When you once remained quiet, you are now speaking your truth. Where you once battled and argued, you are now choosing to remain silent. You are beginning to understand the value of your voice, and there are some situations that no longer deserve your time, energy or focus. I got this email. Now, of course, as you all know, I don't do TV. I don't watch it or anything like that. And it's not from TV licensing. It's a scam. So if you get one of these emails, just be careful. This is an automatic email sent by TV licensed customer service system. Please do not reply to this email, as all messages sent to this address will not receive a response because it's a scam. We are sorry to let you know that the TV licence could not automatically renewed. Something gone wrong with your payments. As we couldn't take the latest payment from your bank account, this amount will need to be paid when you set up a new direct debit. Set new direct debit detail online. If you click that, you are screwed because you're going to a spam account where they're going to rob you. Remember, if you don't keep up with your payments, we may be forced to cancel your licence or pass your details to a debt collection agency. Oh no, not a debt collector! Expiration date 13th of 12th 2019. Oh bugger, it's run out already and I've got to pay £58. Yeah, piss off. We appreciate your trust in TV licensing, and we will do our best to give you the utmost service you deserve. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. Sincerely, TV Licensing Service Centre. As I said, it's a spam email. And that's just to try and spam those that are daft. I mean, some of the older people might fall for it, not me. Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's like voting. You do the same thing over and over again and you're expecting a different result, and the same shit keeps happening. Man beats wife for 10 years for no reason, then promises to stop beating her and buy her flowers and jewellery in the future if she doesn't leave him. That's as close as I can get to an analogy of the Tory party coming up to an election. Paedophile headquarters. Rules for being human, handed down from ancient Sanskrit. 1 to 12. 1. You will receive a body. 2. You will learn lessons. 3. There are no mistakes, only lessons. 4. A lesson will be repeated until it is learned. 5. Learning lessons does not end. 6. There is no better than here. 7. Others are merely mirrors of you. 8. What you make of your life is up to you. 9. Life is exactly what you think it is. 10. Your answers lie inside you. 11. You will forget all of this. 12. You can remember it whenever you want. It's not who votes that counts, it's who counts the votes. That was by Stalin. Conservatives roll out new disability assessment test. Before elections. After elections. A people that elect corrupt politicians are not victims, but accomplices. If your path demands you walk through hell, walk as if you own the place. Revealed, NHS England bosses meet with tech and pharmaceutical giants to discuss price list of millions of Brits' medical data. 9 commercial mode models to access central database mulled at hush-hush meeting. Links in description if you want to read it, but there's no surprise, it's those at the top that are the totally corrupt. Drunk employee arrested at CERN after causing 3.2 magnitude earthquake. Geneva, one of CERN's top scientists, has been arrested after highly dangerous operations were conducted under his authority at CERN's Large Hadron Collider base in Geneva. Russian physicist, it'd have to be a Russian, wouldn't it? Alexandry Zygonov has been accused of breaking CERN security rules by attempting highly risky and dangerous manoeuvres after he used technicians to push the giant 27-kilometre long particle accelerator to its limits. You'll notice it's 27 kilometres, 2 and 7, 9. Avoiding potential warnings signs given by his co-worker while intoxicated by alcohol and under heavy medication. The operation is believed to have caused an earthquake of 3.2 magnitude on the Richter scale, comparable to the impact of a large lightning bolt, assesses experts. I helped negotiate a trade deal with the US. I know they will demand an NHS sell-off. Boris Johnson will be desperate for a US trade deal after Brexit, and Donald Trump knows that. Behind the bluster in this general election about getting Brexit done is an ambitious, long-term agenda not to take back control for a more independent Britain, but to rely on our economy and our standards with the interests of American business and our politics towards the goal of the American right. Mysterious leaked document on the UK negotiating position with the Trump administration for a bilateral trade deal may or may not have been laundered, as alleged by the Russian Secret Service. We shall probably never know, but the leak sounds pretty plausible to me from my experience of working in government from the UK on a prosperative trade and investment agreement between the EU and the USA called TTIP. The Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership only helps them, of course. Initially, a partnership between the two biggest trading entities in the world seemed a very attractive and uncontroversial idea when prompted enthusiastically by the Obama administration and across the EU. Then the problems surfaced. Once European commissioners were in the negotiating room, it turned out that there wasn't a great deal on offer to the EU, including the UK. CO2 greenhouse effect. Within the last few years, 50 papers have been added to our compilation of scientific studies that find the climate sensitive to doubled CO2 to 280 parts per million to 560 parts per million range from 0 to 1 degree centigrade. When no qualification is provided, words like negligible are used to describe CO2's effect in the climate. The list has now reached 106 scientific papers. The greenhouse phenomenon is an atmosphere that results from emissions of its molecules and particles in the infrared spectrum range, is determined by atmospheric water in the form of molecules and microdrops, and by carbon dioxide molecules for the Earth's atmosphere, and by carbon dioxide molecules and dust for the Venus atmosphere. The line-by-line method used the frequency-dependent radiative temperature for atmospheric air with a large optical thickness in the infrared spectrum range, allows one to separate emissions of various components into atmospheric emissions. This method demonstrates that the removal of carbon dioxide from the Earth's atmosphere leads to a decrease on the average temperature of the Earth's surface by 4K. However, doubling of the carbon dioxide amount causes an increase of the Earth's temperature by 0.4K. from the total 2K at CO2 doubling in the real atmosphere, as its followings from the NASA measurements, where you can know you can't trust NASA. The contribution of this temperature change due to injections of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere due to combustion of fossil fuel and its is 0.02K. What about all the chemtrails they're pumping up there? Never mention that, do they? Hampstead cover-up. Evidence trail from Hampstead UK paedophile network leads directly to David Cameron. Hampstead cover-up. And if you want to watch the video, links in description. Note, the normal Skype recording was initially interfered with by an outside agency. This is backup recording and we urge viewer patience. You are witnessing an international information war around the activities of paedophile and ritual child sexual sacrifice networks. Vancouver, BC. In a groundbreaking newsinsideout.com interview, Ella Draper, mother of the two whistleblower children, Elisa and Gabriel, and her partner Abraham Christie, set out a precise chain of evidence that leads directly from the paedophile and ritual child sacrifice networks to the overlapping money laundering networks in Hampstead, UK, that it turned led directly to brothers Lawley Alex Cameron QC and David Cameron, UK Prime Minister at the time, and the Big Society Fund and other fund outlets. Boris Johnson book depicts Jews as controlling the media. The 2004 novel 72 Virgins, written by Tory leader, in full of questionable portrayals of ethnic minorities. Boris Johnson depicted Jews as controlling the media and being able to fiddle elections in a little-known 2004 novel written while he was a Tory MP. It has emerged. The Conservative, the Prime Minister, Prime Monster, who bragged it, fixed it, of course. The Conservative leader was branded unfit to be Prime Minister over passages from 72 Virgins, which also includes 72 again, 9. Numerous other questionable portrayals of ethnic minorities. While telling the story of fictional terror attack on Westminster, Mr. Johnson deploys descriptions of Kosovan Muslims as having hook noses and describes a mixed race character as half-caste. The now Prime Minister also repeatedly uses racial slurs in authorial voice, introducing a group of characters as pikeys, an ethnic slur for travellers, and another as a Chinaman. The context of the pages regarding Jews is a part of the story in which all the countries of the world are made to vote country by country on whether the prisoners at Guantanamo Bay should be released. Describing the situation, Mr. Johnson wrote, and the news from the voting was still bad for America, though not as bad as it had seemed at first. Some countries, such as Saudi Arabia, were reporting almost 100% insistence that the prisoners be sent home. Now, this was off Facebook. It's a waste of space, that thing. My name is Judge Simon Oliver, and I work as a judge in the UK court system based in London and Berkshire. I openly take bribes using the terms gifts and loans to sway judgments in the giver's favour. I steal children and put them into care by colluding with social services. I use rent boys and tweak my nipples in court. I am also a member of the affiliate with the Berkshire Freemasons. When the public complains, my bosses, the Ministry of Justice, help me cover it up by refusing to investigate me. The police authorities also refuse to investigate me because they are my friends. We assist each other by organising gang rapes of teenagers and murdering innocent civilians who speak against me. Metropolitan Police and Thames Valley Police. Please find what people say about me on Twitter or whatever, I guess. This absolutely makes you piss. The 7 principles of public life. 1. Selfness. Holders of public office should act solely in terms of the public interest. Well, they're all guilty of failing that one. 2. Integrity. Holders of public office must avoid placing themselves under any obligation to people or organisations that might try inappropriately to influence them in their work. They should not act or take decisions in order to gain financial or other material benefits for themselves, their family or their friends. They must declare and resolve any interests and relationships. 3. Objectivity. Holders of public office must act and take decisions impartially, fairly and on merit, using the best evidence without discrimination or bias. Okay. 4. Accountability. Holders of public office are accountable to their public for their decisions and actions and must submit themselves to the scrutiny necessary to ensure this. 5. Openness. Holders of public office should act and take decisions in an open and transparent manner. Information should not be withheld from the public unless there are clear and lawful reasons to do so. 6. Honesty. Holders of public office should be truthful. Remember, this applies to Blair and Cameron and Johnson and all of them. Leadership. Holders of public office should exhibit their principles in their own behaviour. They should actively promote and robustly support the principles and be willing to challenge the poor behaviour wherever it occurs. And they're supposed to abide by them rules there. I think we've got them all by the bollocks with that one. Severe childhood allergies to peanuts, eggs, dairy, directly linked to trace ingredients in common vaccines. Natural News. Have you read The Peanut Allergy Epidemic by historian Heather Fraser? She begins by asking us why the peanut allergy epidemic is only found in Western cultures where at least 4 million people experience the mysterious phenomenon, yet there are virtually no reported cases in India where the peanuts just so happen to be the main ingredient in most baby food products. Consider this. One century ago, you couldn't find anyone allergic to peanuts, but now it's a commonplace for parents to send EpiPens to school for the teacher and nurse to keep near their children, just in case someone so much as opens a snack in the room that contain peanuts, or even if someone opens a food product with that may so much as, if you want to read the rest, links in description. Westminster's voting system is bankrupt. It's time for proportional representation. Votes per MP in 2019. The total voters for each party divided by the total number of seats they won. Greens 865,697. Lib Dem 336,038. Labour 50,835. Con 38,264. SNP 25,882. I think we can clearly see from that the voting system is fixed. Daily fail. Now we get more of the bullshit. After you give him landslide, Boris lifts Britain's spirits with soaring Christmas message on healing. We did it. Unveiled reports and analysis. We did it. Who did it? That means we fixed it. That's all that means. The Times. Sex lies and scandal. Supermarket circuit test. Who sells the best bird? Let the healing begin. What that actually means is let the destruction begin. Majority of 80 for Johnson because it was fixed. Vows Brexit division will end. Corbyn to go as Labour thrashed. Lib Dem leader loses seat. Ah, shame, eh? Express. After stunning election victory, because it was fixed and fiddled, victory, PM sends uplifting message of goodwill to nation. Boris, I'm dreaming of a reunited kingdom. For the Zionists, not for us. I. Battle for the United Kingdom. As Johnson calls for country to heal, SNP pulls trigger on new independence campaign and Irish nationalists demand United Ireland. Banks, house buildings and pounds surge. Corbyn determined to stay on till 2020. Sturgeon will publish Indy Red 2 blueprint next week. The Guardian. All propaganda now, that's all you're going to get. Next stop, Brexit. Lying bastard. UK to leave Europe in 6 weeks, claims PM. Bullshit. Johnson says let the healing begin. Sturgeon to push for independence, Corbyn to step down early next year. The scum. Jubilant PM message to nation. Merry Christmas and then we'll quit EU. Brexcellent. Bullshit. Mirror. Caroline Flack charged with assault on boyfriend. Don't know who she is. Election catastrophe. Time to start again. Labour MPs and heavyweights demand Corbyn quits immediately. Many supporters in traditional heartlands say party must change. Waste of paper. Tributes to Dale's Annie dies at 100. Showbiz exclusive. Caroline Smack. Flack charged for beating lover. FT. A stonking mandate. Investors cleared by Johnson victory ends 3 years of Brexit turbulence. Hints of delay to transition deadline as pressure from Eurosceptics eases. So they're still having a delay. Whoa, what a shot. They're just going to kick it down the road further, are they? Collapse comes suddenly as Corbynites' credit runs dry. A weasel walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Wow, I've never served a weasel before. What can I get you?" Pop goes the weasel. The wheels on Tabasco go round and round. A sperm donor, a carpenter and Julius Caesar all walk into a bar. He came, he saw, he conquered. You meet a man on the Oregon Trail. He tells you his name is Terry. You laugh at him and say, "That's a girl's name." Terry shoots you. You have died of dysentery. You thought other puns were bad. Just wait until you see mine. Studies suggest 9 out of 10 men prefer a woman with curves. The 10th man prefers the other 9 men. You know you are getting old when you try to straighten out the wrinkles in your socks and discover you aren't wearing any.